Hey!
Yay!
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are we going?
Hello.
All right.
Good?
That's good.
Right.
Are we all this fine evening? It's probably 8 p.m. where most of you are at the moment.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
kind
In
of.
the real world?
In the real world. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
for Peter and I. It's only 7. So the night is only young. Hey, Peter.
Absolutely, yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're just
Well,
hanging out for.
Peter doesn't normally get up till 10 o'clock, so he's fine.
I
Oh,
wish.
over the crack of lunchtime.
The crack of lunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
A muso's life, really, isn't it?
I
He's a
wish.
he's a muso, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
A real one.
Nah.
Yes. So it looks like Carolyn's trying to join here, so I'll ask her to unmute as well.
Troubleshooting a little audio issue on my end. I'll be back in a second.
Peter will be back after these short messages. I don't know why they're short.
Yep,
You know,
there he
do you
goes.
ever have tall
Yeah.
advertisement? Hey, Reese is joining us today.
Messages?
Hello, Reese. What's going on? You up to much at all or what?
There we go.
No, so hang on. I've got no audio from you, Reese, as yet. Oh, it looks like Peter stole my shirt. Peter Scott stole my shirt. He stole my shirt. Oh, dear. Good to see you all. Anyway, it was good to catch up just quickly on Saturday night, PP.
Yes, was good.
Yeah, it's always
Indeed.
good to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm. So yeah, as I said to you in a message, you know, the drums and stuff sounded all really cool, actually.
Thank you.
One little bit of feedback is the hi-hats and stuff could come up just a little bit in the mix.
Okay.
But apart from that, like, it's really hard to judge in such a small room.
Yeah.
Because you can't kind of get away from the speakers. So
Were the keyboards all right?
yeah, they were great. Like, all the backing and everything was all
Ian.
good levels. So that's Ian's keyboard,
Thank you.
is it?
Thank you.
Mostly, yep.
All right. Yeah.
Mm.
That's all right. He paid money into my bank account about an hour ago to say that. So
That's good.
no, everything was really good. Like, you know, I don't think there was no delay from you starting and stopping audio and things like that. It sounded pretty clear. By the looks of it, you were running USB audio into a Yamaha mixer. Is that right?
That's just a small Yamaha. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the way to go. It's got what, 2 channels in and out, has it? I think it has.
The mixer.
Yeah.
I think it's about 6 mic inputs and plus auxiliaries and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
MX-15 with effects and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's
right. Yeah.
just a little bit easier to move around than the bigger Personas. So, fine.
Yeah, especially in such a tight space. That's why I
Yeah.
take my Presonus Studio Live 16R with me, because it's just so small. You
So
can
small, yeah.
sit it in the corner and, you know, it does its thing.
Yeah, no, it all worked pretty well. And I've got Bluetooth, so I had like backings there for between the breaks. So I think when you came, I had a guy playing guitar.
Yes.
But after that, I just Bluetooth from the laptop, so I had background music playing and stuff like that, and everything went smoothly. Studio One, not a problem, so it was good. Yeah.
And I had a bit of a sneaky on your screen. You didn't really have many controls or stuff up there. You just had the set list up on the left-hand side, and away you go. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's all I needed. There was a couple of tracks that I wasn't sure of the levels, so I put them separately and had their own volumes on them. But as it turned out, I didn't have to use it anyway. It was fine. So it was good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
The show page is good to go.
So glad we sorted that.
Yeah.
But it's the way to go. Like, I mean, if you're doing all your tracks and stuff in there, why not use it for that as well?
Yes. Yeah.
So what's been going on, Ian?
Not a great deal. Busy writing and playing, and for somebody who didn't want to do much playing, was doing a fair bit of playing at the moment.
Yes.
With the trio, and I'm up to going up to Albury-Wodonga on Saturday night to do work with a band up there, and then I'm back. I'm doing a couple more here, and then up in May I'm coming up to you guys. I'll be up
really?
all of May in Caloundra, yeah.
Right.
All of May, and hopefully do some gigs with Peter, and yeah, go from there.
Awesome. I might try and come along to those if I'm free.
Yeah, I just wonder if that room's going to be big enough to fit a keyboard player. I'm sure we can.
That's all right. We'll have to get we'll get Ian to camp out on the beach, and he can satellite it in.
It wouldn't be the first time. No, I just bring the Hammond up, so it'll be quite small. One keyboard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like last time.
Like last time, yeah, it was good.
So yeah, one keyboard. Yeah.
Excellent.
The other 15 I'll leave at home.
Have you been doing much with Studio One at all, Ian?
Honestly, not a lot. I've just been doing a little bit with Studio One, and also with my GoPro as well, mixing some stuff into there, so some video. So, but I'm still getting. Look, I don't use it a lot. I should use a lot, but I've been too busy doing other things, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, between, as you know, I ride and kayak and do other things as well. So and we're having a few things done around the house. So it's
all the important stuff
lately. Yeah. Oh yeah. And traveling. Obviously.
And traveling, right? Well, they're you know the two mainstays of life, really.
Yeah. Well, when you retire, that's what you do.
Yep. My dad reckons since he's retired, he's Andrew, your mic is mono for some reason. Really?
Oh.
It only is mono, I think, on my end. So what do you mean it's only coming out left or right? Hang on. How come you can't unmute?
He's
troubleshooting still.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I can unmute when you give me permission. I can't by myself.
Oh, I've already turned that off. Anyway.
No, well, it's still working. You're only coming out of the right channel for some reason. All the other guys are coming out of both channels, but you're not. So I don't know why that is, but just thought I'd let you know.
What about for everybody else?
Everyone else is fine. They're both coming out.
No, my audio for everybody else.
Yeah, left channel.
You're coming out of my left channel. Yeah.
That is strange. Hang on, I'll check my settings too while Peter catches us
We
all up.
expected of you, Andrew.
I beg pardon?
We expected of you.
Okay.
Very strange.
I don't know where our Ray friend is at the moment.
He'd be lurking around somewhere. Probably finding a couple more drummer jokes to bring with him.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to, Mr. Scott?
Well, we've just done our festival, of course, our crazy, hot as Hades summer festival. If it's not 40 degrees, it's not a festival, apparently. So.
Oh,
hot as, yeah, very hot, but very humid, which is unusual for us. We don't normally get that humidity. That's very odd. But it's been like that for the last 3-4 weeks. And today, yesterday and today, the next couple of days are much cooler. Like we're still talking about 30 degrees instead of 38, 9, 40, and that sort of stuff. But anyway, the festival was great. I put through about 47 acts over 6.5 days. It was great. Got to work with some great people. Pulled the mix for Andrew Farris and his band at a place called The Press, which is a little sort of basement bar. That was good fun. Worked with the Wolf Brothers, worked with Andrew Swift, Troy Casadale, and a whole swag of other bods. Even the Reese Blindman turned up and sang a couple of songs. So, Yes, we were deeply honoured that we're having the Lord Mayor of Manila come and sing for us. I'm sorry, the honorary Lord Mayor. He's not the official,
Honorary.
Lord Mayor, of course, no. But yeah, that was good fun, and I got to see the awards on the Saturday night, which was a great show. So yeah, lots of good stuff. But it was good. It was a good festival. Lots of people and lots of great acts.
Excellent. I'm just trying to wonder why it's only coming out that
Yeah.
channel, which
I
is
had,
so
I had this happen
strange.
once before. It might be a setting in Zoom or something.
Yeah. Every time I update Zoom, which is every time I open the damn bloody thing, something changes.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe I'm in a left channel kind of mood tonight. So,
Maybe.
so maybe if I let Studio One do something, can you guys tell me if it's the same if
Yeah.
it comes out left or right?
Both
Yeah.
left and right.
Yeah, that's
So
stereo.
it's just the mic.
Just the mic for some reason.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anyone thinks of anything in
Have a
UC
look.
Surface for Revelator, I have no idea. No settings have changed since last time because
I
it worked really well last time.
don't think it's that. I think it's something in Zoom. I'll
Yeah.
have a scratch around while we're going.
Now, Reese, do we have any audio from you?
Speak to us, Reese.
Speak or forever hold your peace. Yeah, he seems to be having a bit of internet issues there too, because he's like what is it, the Thunderbirds? So
Yeah,
he's-
yes. Yeah.
I like his shirt though. Flash. Ah.
Oh.
Very, very cool.
Uh,
Oh well, let's we'll leave him and
I think it might be the stereo audio setting in Zoom. You can have high fidelity music mode, echo cancellation, but if you check the stereo audio mode, I think it drops a microphone into mono for some reason. I have seen that before, and I don't understand why it does that. But
yeah, this option enables Zoom to encode audio in stereo, a stereo-capable microphone.
yeah, I
Or
think
interface, but I'm going into my Revelator out again, and it's just so strange that it's
I know.
coming in.
Hmm.
That's weird. Anyway, I'll keep looking around as well.
Yep. I ran into a young couple of guys that work as Mac and Shah, and they performed on the stage that I was running during the festival. They've just recorded an album, I think, on Studio One, and I said to them, "You must come on and have a chat to us and tell us what you did it with and how you did it." And they said, "We would love to. We just got to find some time because we're insanely busy out promoting the album and stuff." I said, "Well, talk to us when you can, and we'd love to hear the story and maybe have a listen to a track or two." So, but yeah, they great live show, and I think they've got huge potential.
Yeah, that's something that's very interesting is watching how someone put a track together. And people do things different ways, and it'd be nice to really see, a different, I guess, perspective of how people, track drums and
Oh yeah,
whether they layer snares or, guitars and stuff together or keyboards, things like that. I've been using a lot of outboard stuff at the moment, trying to sort of, things like lightly compressing vocals on the way in to be recorded and things like that. People do things different ways, and it's always very interesting. Yeah. So yeah, not much in the way of news for Studio One except for that update a little while ago. I don't think there was a lot in it, just a lot of bug fixes. But Peter, looks like I don't know whether you've tested it or not, but we had that issue for USB for the Studio Live mixes. Was that
Yes.
actually addressed in the new update that came in, I think,
Is-
last week?
are good, because I haven't loaded it on anything yet. I just really haven't had an opportunity to do so, but I'm intending to do that over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I hadn't even got to look at the release notes on that, but I know it did talk about. There was talk about it being a very important AVB update, because there was all sorts of weird stuff happening. People finding with that firmware. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what was fixed. I had some weird stuff happen, not to my console, but a 32X where they were doing the another venue, and they had a couple of acts that were through several times through the week, and
Yeah.
they'd done a scene for this um, particular act where they linked together two inputs to make a stereo pair for a playback, for a backing track or something, for this particular act. Anyway, saved the scene and everything. The patch, the project hadn't changed. It was the same project, and all the AVB was the same, but they changed. They selected the two tracks for this particular act, and in that scene they were linked as a stereo pair. They then went back to the original scene, which was a different act where they were separate. They were actually DIs, separate DIs for instruments, and weirdly, halfway through the gig, they mysteriously linked themselves again,
Oh,
which is very bizarre. I've never ever seen that happen. So the guy that was operating sent me a note. He said, "I've just had the weirdest thing happen," and he described it. And I said, "That is odd." So I'm not sure if that ties up with what this fix is going to do for us. I don't know, but I've never seen that happen before.
yeah, that is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, certainly was. Anyway, he just said, "Oh, I just unlinked them and they were fine for the rest of the thing." But why they came back of their own volition,
Yeah,
very, very creepy.
that is strange. Like, what do they call that? Ghosts in the machine?
Oh, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think so.
Yes, it's so
Um,
strange.
Mm. But apart from that, nothing too crazy. I don't think we. Oh, well, I'll be interesting to say. I've got a couple of. Have you had an issue with stage boxes dropping signal for a fraction of a second randomly?
No.
No, I have, and
Um, our friend Jason from, I can't remember the studio name, he was having a bit of trouble, and Chris Mann got on and sorted all his trouble out, and he was having those NSB boxes drop out.
yeah. No, I didn't have any
That's the only sort of thing I've heard from.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't have any NSBs. They were all solid the whole time, but just these four wedges were running off an NSB, and through most of the day they were absolutely fine. But at the end of the day, sort of in the later afternoon, I don't know whether it may have been power related. I don't know. But a couple of artists said, "Oh, that like they were running maybe." I had four wedges in a line on a small stage, and it was a solo with the two middle wedges were linked together, give them a left and right, and a couple of them said, "Oh, that left one just dropped out for a fraction of a second and came straight back." Another one said, "Oh no, that right one did that." And then I had some of the other two do it at various times, but never all together and randomly. It was, but it was late in the day, so we've been running since probably 9 o'clock in the morning, and this was probably more like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm hoping that's got something to do with this AVB update. But
Yeah, that's strange.
yeah, it was strange. I don't know. I haven't been able to work that one out. But anyway, the joys of live, eh, guys?
Yeah, that's that's one of the things I keep telling people is that if you want to learn studio stuff, definitely get out and do some live stuff.
Yeah.
You'll quickly know how to troubleshoot stuff, definitely.
Yep.
And being able to think on your feet in that sort of pressure moment is a whole different skill as well.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially when you've got clients in the studio and things are going wrong. I can definitely, you know, feel Jason's pain of all that stuff he was going through. He had clients there when his system went
Yeah.
down. That
Uh-huh.
sucks.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's not a good look, and yeah, you want to avoid it at all costs. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's just nothing you can do. It's
Yep.
going to do what it's going to do,
And surprisingly, every time I had trouble computer-wise in the studio, Pro Tools had something to do with it, didn't it?
yeah.
Yes, every bloody time it'd hang up on a certain track that we were trying to do, and I just could not beat it. And we ended up doing the rest of the session in Reaper. So I'm glad I backed it all up. But yeah, you just cannot tell with anything technology. You know, as good as the software is, it's really hard to do anything if the computer's not playing or the hardware's not playing games either.
Yeah. No, true.
Yes. So it looks like we've got Carolyn
Hey,
has sorted
John?
things out there, so I'll ask her to unmute and we'll see if she's got some audio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit soft. Apparently I'm only coming out of the left channel. I'm having a left channel night tonight.
What about that? Any good? Now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I can't hear me, but anyway, that's fine.
Oh,
I can hear all you guys. Yes, the talk about 3 weeks from hell with a new computer, and
oh
even
no.
now, like I just put on Zoom and it was nothing works. And then everything has worked. All the songs saved to friggin', what's that thing? The cloud. Everything saved to the cloud till I actually destroyed the cloud program app.
Right.
And now I want everything on my computer. That's why I have my computer. And I couldn't access the songs and documents, nearly lost all Bruce's lyric document, which was like 63 songs, all the lyrics. Anyway, I found those. So yeah, things every day I just think what's going to go wrong today. But anyway.
Yeah,
Zoom.
like Zoom, as we're saying, it's
Zoom
you know
was today.
exactly the same setup as I had last time, and apparently I'm only coming out of one side, so I have no idea what it is. So it troubleshoot the way it is, I guess.
You're coming out of two sides on my speaker, but I don't know what that means on my headset.
Okay. What about everyone else? Is it still the same? Yeah. Oh well. My left side of my brain's talking tonight. So that's no good that you've had trouble with you know, computers when they get in the road, as we were talking about, such stressful kind of times, because you rely on them so much, don't you, with this, that, and the other. And I think equally as frustrating is losing internet connection sometimes too when you're trying to do stuff. That really sucks. So anything else new? You've sorted it all out then, I suppose, Carolyn?
Oh, kind of, yeah. I just, we've been making a few lyric videos. We send the lyrics to Music Match, and they just hold them there in case people won't ever use them, I guess. And they have this new facility where you can send, well, you get them to sync the lyrics, and then once they've done that, they're all synced on Spotify and everything, and that's good. And then you're allowed to just send them with Music Match Pro. You just ask for each song to be made into a 35-second video where you sort of pick the background and the writing style for the lyrics, and they send it back to you. And I just do a little edit, which I've just finished before this, on Clipchamp, and put the name of the song and the artist on each little clip, and then we load them up to YouTube, which I'll do later tonight for the 2 new ones, and then they're on our YouTube channel. So
oh wow,
that's just a little aside that we do, you know, just to break the monotony of trying to mix and do all recording with people, and Bruce getting his guitar right, which never happens. Yeah, so,
Guitarists, hey?
yeah, well, I think drummers are worse. Sure.
Oh, yeah! Hey. You know, if the drummer doesn't turn up, you don't have a band. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Oh, look at Peter shaking his head. I know he'd, you know, if I unmuted him, he'd be swearing his head off. Swears like a soldier. So yeah, that's no good to hear that, you know, things were running a bit rough for a little while, but I hope that it's all on the up and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Reese, do you think that you've got stuff happening there? So I'll unmute you and ask if you can try your mic again. No, he seems to be having connection problems, I think. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
You unmuted me. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I was muted for some reason, and I wasn't getting any video.
All right. Everybody's muted until we're speaking, so I'll just unmute you when you want to say stuff there. Just it makes it easier because there was some noise coming through before and it was very, very hard to hear someone
so
talk.
you muted it?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure about the video, though. I don't know why you lost video. Might have been your end, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Reese, are you there? Reese, are you there? No, he's still having trouble there. So I just wanted to ask, is anyone using Superior Drummer in Studio One? I think, Peter, is that a nod from Peter P? You should be able to unmute now, mate. Nope. Mute, unmute.
Unmute.
Oh, there you go. Did you say you did or not?
No, Easy Drum and Slate.
Okay, so you use Easy Drummer. So anyone else use Easy Drummer? Yep.
I think yours is just the next one up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Superior Drummer is, you know, I've only got version 2. I can't seem to justify spending $1,000 to the way the Australian dollar is at the moment to upgrade to Superior Drummer 3. It does give me a bit more tweakability and stuff, and being able to track and turn real drums into MIDI drums and all that sort of stuff. But I kind of just play here in the studio anyway, so I don't really need all that. So I'm hoping to justify that later on. I was just going to go through some Easy Drummer stuff and programming. I don't know whether people actually program their own drums in the MIDI editor inside Studio One, or do you just use the basic grooves that are there? Sorry, I'm trying to find the setting where it you can have your stuff unmuted, and it just won't let me. Okay. Not sure why it won't let me do this. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go here. Ask all to unmute. All right, you should be all be able to unmute yourselves now. Carolyn, if you want to unmute yourself, yeah. Excellent. So that way we're all on this time. I don't know where that background noise was coming on. Maybe it was Reese mucking around at the back there. Yeah. But there's a few things I want to just ask if people are doing, because lately when I've been looking around, you know, like everyone does, waste time on the internet reading Reddit and, you know, Facebook and all this kind of stuff. There seems to be a lot of people out there programming their own drums and using things like, slate drums. What is the other one? Extinction drums, I think, is another one that seems to be a little bit more on the metal side, but mostly Easy Drummer. There's a lot of Roland electronic drum kit players out there that, like myself, who actually interface their computer with either Easy Drummer or Superior Drummer and actually use those sounds in a live situation. So if you've got a nice quick interface like, even Presonus's Quantum 2626, the milliseconds, round trip for that is unbelievable. And it's so fast you can even have a snare. I would swear some nights that I'm hitting a real snare when I'm playing an electronic drum kit, which just blows my mind. Because the first thing is, if someone wants a quick demo, these days I don't really have time to come in, set the drums up, mic it all up, get a good sound. By the time you've done that, you haven't even recorded anything and you've gone through half a day. So I just want to sit down on my electronic drum kit, play the beat in that we need, have Easy Drummer play the sounds for me, and then just do a little few tweaks from there and off we go. So I don't know whether anyone programs drums in a one-line situation on one instrument track, or whether you do multiple instrument tracks, bass drum first, snare drum, hi-hats on a separate track, etc., etc. Does anyone do that kind of stuff?
I was doing that, Andrew. I find now I can record straight from eDrums straight through the program and have it on one track and then separate it with Studio One.
Right. So using the
So
audio?
Yeah. No, sorry. That'd be MIDI at that stage.
Right. So, for
Then
instance, you
I'll
have the bass drum programming on one instrument track, the snare on a separate? No? So all in one?
I do it all in one and then use S1, and I think it's something to pitches, and it will separate them all out.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not sure now whether it was, I think that would have been still running at MIDI at that time.
Yeah, because it would have it would have still triggered off the right instrument, but Easy Drummer is programmed to be only 2 channels, stereo left and right.
You can split it in Easy Drummer.
Yep, and you can also split it in Studio One. So I thought maybe people would like to know that kind of stuff to get into actually treating every instrument differently.
Correct, yeah.
And these days I don't even worry about bouncing it down to audio until I've done all my tweaks. Because of the way computers are pretty fast these days, so they can put up with quite a few instruments together. But yeah, I just found there were so many people programming drums and drummers actually just using a MIDI kit. And someone I was watching the other day was actually tapping on the table and turning that into MIDI and using any instrument that they like. There's a lot of producers doing it, even beatboxing and things like that. So Superior Drummer, for instance, can grab those pitches and put it in straight into MIDI notes for you without any DAW in sight, really. So you can do it all in Superior Drummer. But again, I don't want to spend $800 on something that I'm probably not going to need because I have Studio One do it anyway. So this is where I think people get a bit confused between channels and tracks and things in Studio One as well. Because with channels in any instrument, if they've got more than one output, like Easy Drummer, we'll talk Easy Drummer because that's the one I'm going to bring up. You can actually split it out, as you say, in the mixer, so that you can have everything separated and treat it as that, and then do your mix down from there. So it looks like Reese is unfortunately having trouble, but how you going, Reese? You getting there, mate?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you should be able to unmute yourself there. Oh no! Still
What?
nothing.
Talk to us. No.
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 Nope. No good. All right, so Reese, you sort yourself out there. Even if you want to tell us how you're going and everything in the chat, just while you're Oh, Ian is still having video problems. Sorry to hear about that.
Oh.
Boo! I've just down thumbed his thing.
Welcome to Telstra.
Yes, that's it. Yes, telecom giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giant.
So, all right. So what I'll do is grab Zoom and let's share the screen here. Oh, hello. Look at that. There's a little pattern and everything in there. Isn't that sweet? That's a bit 80s hip hop, isn't it? Right. So obviously Impact is a great instrument for drums as well. If you haven't downloaded all the stuff that comes with Impact, you know, there are a lot of acoustic style kits in there as well,
Yeah.
which come in very handy. And also too, if you can, grab yourselves the toolbox stuff. There's a lot of presets and things in there that are very, very handy, like the kick and snare designer, for instance. I've used that on a few occasions to add, you know, different elements to kick drums and things like that. So, yeah, this kit's really nice too. Anyway, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about our friend. Where is it? Zoom always gets in the road, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay, I can move my screen here so that I can do all this at once. Should see it. It's got Mac computers everywhere and screens. Right, so under instruments here, I can now go and let's drag an instance of Easy Drummer in. Nicely tuned drums there. So just for people who don't know, obviously there's different kits you can have. Easy Drummer comes with the bright room, a main room, and tight room. I think really the bright room for me is the one I use the most. It's got a little bit more punch, and I really like brass snare drums. So when you've got Easy Drummer in, and you actually create a part here, there's a few different ways that you can go about putting, you know, a quick track together. You can go to the grooves section here and choose, you know, like blues, for instance, standard. Let's go swing with hi-hats open. Why not? So then it gives you a few to choose from down here. It's quite busy. Oh, that's very blue. Right, so you can even just drag it straight into Studio One and boom, there's your MIDI drums. All right,
Okay.
so if you have a look at that there, that's the placement of the drums. You can also go to the cloud over here on the right-hand side and download the MIDI maps for all these. So if we're in the Bright Room here, I've actually downloaded the Bright Room MIDI map. So as soon as I click on that, all the names of the different parts of the drum kit come up, and then it just spreads it out over where they come in. So you can see the center snare.
Andrew?
Yep.
So when you pulled that feel into the Studio One, does it normally give you a 4-bar section of that? Is that default?
It depends on the groove that you select.
Okay.
So over here, most of them are 4-bar
Yeah.
things. You can actually do things like half time it. So over here, you can go half time, half tempo, double tempo,
I see. Yeah. Yeah. So
things like that. So mostly they're 4-bar lots.
Yeah.
But you can also, too, what I've done quite a bit is use the sequencer at the bottom here and just drag the grooves in here. And
Yes.
it just flows along with Studio One wherever you are. So as you can see, my cursor is stopped at, let's say, bar 2 here. And you can see it reflects at the bottom there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So it's, look, yeah, it is a very standard thing. You know, if we actually go, I think, let's take that off there. Yeah, no, it didn't change, did it? But anyway, look, that's just a really quick and simple way of putting it down there.
Yeah. That's fine. And then you just copy it across, and
Yeah.
depending on your arrangement and what have you.
Okay, well, that doesn't go together, so let's mute that. Make sure everything's muted. All right, so that's playing sort of half of it because I've got the loop on at the top. So let me take that off, and I'm going to get rid of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if we just go ahead, and I'm just going to put in a simple groove just by simply clicking down here.
Yep.
Okay, if my bloody mouse will let me do it. That's better. So you got to put a region in there to do it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yep. Right, so it's still not letting me do it anyway. So we get that bit there. Now there's a really something I struggle with actually I want to tell Presonus about is when you go close here, you can obviously change the length of things here.
Yeah.
But what it makes it difficult is I can't place a note now on that first of the bar. Can you see that?
Yeah.
See if I put it there, that I don't want it there.
No.
I actually want it at the very start.
At the first beat.
Yeah. All right, so let's just, oops. I'm using 2 keyboards and I keep pressing my laptop keyboard to do stuff. All right, so we're just going to have a very simple groove happening here. Everyone can see what the heck's going on here. So if I come down to the hi-hat, we're just going to go open edge on each beat here. This is a very slow way of doing this, by the way. Okay. Shorten the loop.
But it's a good way to look.
Sorry, mate?
It's a good way to learn to program, though.
Yeah.
You know, initially, I mean, it's, you know, for a lot, it is time, you know, it's pretty time consuming, but, you know, once you've done it a couple of times, there are much quicker ways to do it. But I mean, it's really good to get a feel for, you know, the bars and where things sit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And so you've even got some stuff where that you can just draw lines of stuff straight in and things like that if you're going to be doing it by a mouse. I'm pretty spoilt because I can play, and so therefore I just program it in quickly, whether with my Atom controller or the Atom SQ, whichever one, and you can sort of, you know, do it from there. Zoom is in the bloody way again. So anyway, we've got just a really simple groove happening there.
Yeah.
So what I want to show you is, if you know, obviously you can do the normal things like hit the D key and double this to as many times as you need.
Duplicate. Yep.
That kind of stuff. You can do versions of, if you're using the pattern sequencer, you can do versions of the same thing and just sort of map your whole song out and do it that way. Or what I like to do is just do it this way anyway. And you've got your notes at the bottom. By the way, a little trick too is that if you've got, has anyone got an Atom controller?
Mm.
If you actually have your editor set to the piano roll,
Yep.
okay, your Atom will behave differently and come up with the buttons at the very top will be to go octave left and right.
Oh yeah.
And then the pads themselves, you'll only get what is it, 3, 6, 9, 12 pads to play with. But if you actually change it to the drum editor,
Yep.
you will get the whole 16 pads.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
And also, too, it won't light up until you've actually pressed on the monitor button.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a bit strange, and I don't know why it's like that, but it is, and that's the way we go. Now, if I can get bloody Zoom to move out of the way, so I can go and now, can everyone see the right-hand side of my screen here?
Yep.
Yes? All right, so I just want to make sure Zoom just keeps popping up. We go to mix. Here's a good example here of impact is actually spread out each of the outputs of impact into different MIDI channels.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so they're your instrument channels for each one. If we go to Easy Drummer, okay, close that off. Now you can see Easy Drummer has up to 32 outputs.
Right.
So at the moment, Easy Drummer is ticked for left and right, 1 and 2. So left and right channels 1 and 2. So when we go back to the mixer here in Easy Drummer, you'll notice we've got a mixer with all the kit separated out at the top here.
Yep.
But down the very bottom, now you can see the mixer output for each channel that's on their mixer.
Oh. So it then ferries each of those sounds into 1 and 2.
Yep, so everything is running in stereo at the moment. So you can see, you know, it's left and right up here for the toms. So you've got the floor tom pan to the very right, that kind of stuff. Which, like, I mean, is very, very usable. But if you want to get into mixing the drums like you would a real drum kit, so all you do now is just go and tick the outputs that you want to use.
Cool. Okay.
Okay?
Oh, I see. Yeah. So
now what's happened is all your drums here are being spread out over mixer channels. So not tracks, channels. So it's channeling it all out. So what you need to do then is that you need to choose, right, what do I actually want from the kick? Let's leave the kick as channels 1 and 2. Because it's panned in the middle, you're obviously going to get the bass drum in the center. The snare itself, you can separate that out to different stereo channels. But what I tend to do is just choose 3 and 4 for both of those.
Yeah.
Right. So
right. So I'm going to make up a preset for this, by the way. So if you guys want to just drag it straight in and they'll come up. So you'll notice here that Easy Drummer is now set for there. Okay, so you would rename that. Let's just go bass drum. And then you would rename that snare.
Yep. Yep.
So let's see what happens. Okay, great. So we've got the bass drum and the snare drum on separate channels. So the audio is flowing through Easy Drummer out to there. So let's just do one more little tweak here and we'll have a look at the hi-hat. So let's go, the hi-hat can be 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Because we've already had the snare, so 5 and 6. And then we're going to do one more, which is the overheads for the whole kit.
Yeah.
Okay? And then we'll go 7 and 8. So now when we play back our little drum loop that if it was a real drummer, you'd fire him. So now, when I solo any of these tracks, you will get each one separate.
Yep.
You can even hear the bleed from the bass drum mic into the room. All right, so that's just by channeling them out over this side and making sure they're ticked. This trips people up sometimes because they go, I can have many outputs. Why aren't I getting this? You just have to make sure you tick them all. And it's the same with any of these instruments here. So if we actually open this up, come on. Oh, that's because it's automatically done, isn't it? Because it's Studio One already. So if you have a look at Impact, for instance, each of these, you can see at the very bottom, here's the channel numbers that they come out of.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can go ahead and choose which Impact channel you want it to come out. So therefore, that's saying the same way to do what we've just done with Easy Drummer, but with Impact if you want to use that. So I use that for percussion and stuff, is really cool, to separate them all out too. So now what we can do is we can just go ahead and add inserts on those, add reverb for the snare, that kind of stuff. And what did we go to? We went to 7 and 8, didn't we? So we don't really need any of these other channels. So now they're just spread out amongst the ones we actually need.
Yeah.
So now you can go ahead and mix that if you want more snare, less snare. Now I obviously understand that you can actually do that inside the mixer. But for me, workflow-wise, it saves me having to go, oh, gee, I need the snare drum higher. Oh, where's Easy Drum? Oh, it's here. Then you have to go into the mixer, and then you have to turn it up and down. And then all of a sudden, because you've sort of turned the snare up, the ambience and overhead has picked that up as well. So by separating them out, you can control the volumes separately, basically.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So that's kind of a way to mix Easy Drummer as if you would a real drummer. And I did it myself earlier on in the week, jumped on my electronic kit, played some beats in, and then separated them all out the way I wanted it, chose the different snare that I wanted and things like that, and mix it like a normal kit. You know, these days, why would you mic a drum kit when you can just do it and have it sound fairly, real the way it is? So any questions about that?
Yeah, you would have that on one track, Andrew?
The drums themselves, the programming, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Because one, it sort of, if I go having a separate one for each instrument, you're kind of clouding up your arrangement window too, because you've got not only, let's say 8 MIDI tracks, but you've also got 8 audio channels as well. And so I always just leave it. I guess it's I'm so used to it being on one sort of track.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit like, Ian's not here now, but if you're a keyboard player or piano player, it'd be a bit like separating each of the piano keys out into their own MIDI tracks. I know it's the same instrument, and it's not exactly the same, but to me, that's my thought process is, well, no, hang on. The drum kit is one piece. It just consists of different sounds. So therefore, that's why I went and downloaded these things here. Let's just have a quick look. I'll show you where they are. If you go to the cloud and in the Presonus Exchange. Okay, so you can download many different things here, different extensions and effects chains and things like that, key switches, but you'll find them pitch names. So if I just double click on that quickly, waiting for it. Okay, it's not going to give. Oh, here we go. So Zeus drums, Abbey Road 70s drums. That must be from Easy Drummer. There's Addictive Drummers there. So these are all MIDI map names. Drum loops. There's tons and millions and thousands of these things. So you simply just click on them and they go in, and then you can select them from this down arrow here. So I actually put GM drums in there just for any keyboards that I might use sounds from. It just maps it out properly here. But if you don't map it out, it just gives you the notes that you played in. Anyway. Yeah. Any questions?
No.
No.
No? So remember, you can do that to any of these plugins that you've got that are multi-channel plugins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that's just something I thought I'd go through quickly today just to show you, because I've showed so many people, and I just can't believe how many people are trying to program their own drums.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's budgetary as much as anything, and being in touch with what you're creating and being able to do it quickly.
Yeah, that for me, that's the whole thing. I love. My favorite part in the studio is the creative side of things, doing demos and getting sounds and things like that. And there's nothing better, I reckon, than a guitarist will come up with a riff or something, and I can just go quickly, jump on my electronic drum kit and put a beat down without even thinking about it. And I can get the best sounds I need. I guess that's one thing with, I think you can do it in Easy Drummer anyway, but Superior Drummer, you can put your own snares and things in to trigger it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I used to sequence a lot of stuff, I used to use an external Alesis drum module.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to, in a lot of cases, I had to remap the MIDI notes with a MIDI mapper to get the because there was a number of Peter shaking yes, he'd been there before.
Yeah.
It was a case of you had to just use a little MIDI mapper to actually remap the kits that you wanted to, like you do the program change to select the kit, but quite often it wasn't in the same as general MIDI necessarily.
Yeah.
And I remember we had to do a lot of that, but it worked fine once you got the hang of what notes and stuff you had to go to. It was quite good, but so in this case, if you had to change MIDI notes and stuff, that wouldn't be a problem, I suppose, if you had an external thing that you wanted to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting, but I mean the sounds are so good now. In Studio One, you probably would never need to do that. You'd probably have them embedded and made them into real digital, real audio, and away you go.
Yeah. So one little thing, I just want to make sure Reese is going here. He might be able to say hello. Hello, Reese.
How you going?
Hey!
Yeah, I had to change computers.
Oh, look, more computer problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Carolyn, it's not just you.
No.
Oh, dear.
Favorites, does it?
No. So what have you been up to, Reese? I've been stalking you on Facebook lately, so seen you're up to a few different things.
Yeah, I've been flat out. Well, Tamworth Country Music Festival was the busiest festival for me. I'd done about 26 gigs all up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I started a week early.
Yeah, the week before the festival, didn't you?
Yeah.
You
So
peaked.
that
Oh, my camera's gone off.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no one's complained.
We voted for it.
oh,
We voted for it. No, that's good,
Yeah.
Reese. I'm glad that you're keeping busy and stuff. I've had a few gigs cancel on me today, actually, which I'm a little bit pissed off about, just quietly. But I'm glad that you've got some work happening. There, as Peter knows, there may be a chance I might be doing some stuff in Tamworth next year.
yeah.
But so I'll be able to meet you and see you and do all that sort of stuff.
Oh, he'll be ready gigs.
Yeah.
You'll be trying to be elbowing the drums out of the road, mate. You watch out.
That's right. Get out of the way. Yeah.
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 But
Yeah, so,
we're trying to organise it.
Excellent. That's good. Keeping busy with Studio One, or you just been gigging and not worrying about it?
not trying to do a little bit of both, but I recently brought a new mixer a little while back, but unfortunately it's not a PreSonus.
Mm.
It's a Soundcraft UI 24R wireless mixer.
Okay.
And it's unfortunately with this particular laptop I'm using at the moment, won't recognise with Studio One. It won't let me send anything to it or out of it for some
Might
reason.
be a driver issue, mate.
Yeah, it could be. But the Mac Mini works. I had it going today. Actually, it was working fine.
Oh,
With the
That's weird.
with the Soundcraft.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
yeah, that's
Well,
I don't know,
Studio,
maybe it's again sounds like a driver thing to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe try the ASIO driver for the Soundcraft. Maybe go and find the ASIO for all driver and install that, and see if that will work. Because
Yeah,
that's what
Yeah.
it'll be something like that. It needs to recognise some sort of connection between the computer and the software, and if it's not doing that, that'll stop everything.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I was working, I was using Logic Pro with this particular laptop, and it was working fine with that. But Studio One,
It's
yeah,
native,
it doesn't.
it's native to Mac too, which makes it very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think the differentiator is that plug and play, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's something I wanted to touch on today. I had a client over this week who has written a demo song for some songwriter friends of hers, and basically she wanted to put this track together fairly quickly. She's moved up here from Melbourne and normally have a studio that she uses down there, but we've got in contact with each other through Sarah. Actually, she came and bought a new mic stand and a few things like that. And she said, "Oh, can we put this track together really quickly? I wonder, can you do it for me?" And so we had a go at. She sent me her GarageBand tracks. She does everything in GarageBand, that blew my mind. But anyway,
A few people are.
yeah, being a professional, and she just says, "Look, it's so easy. I can just open my laptop up and start straight away. There's no worry, loading up this and that. My Mac just runs GarageBand and away it goes." So I did struggle a little bit trying to get every track out of GarageBand. So in other words, she had some drums and a little bit of piano and things like that in there.
Sure.
So what I had to do was mix down the whole track by soloing each track and naming it piano. Solo the next track, drums. Solo the next track, bass guitar, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, we got there in the end, and we put this track together. And she said, "Yeah, look, it's a male and female vocal part." And I went, "Oh, okay, so who's doing the male parts?" And she said, "Well, I want to show you this AI website that I've joined, and I can have anybody I like sing my notes." So I was very intrigued about this because I knew of AI voices, and you can train them. You can even have a singer come in; it will learn their voice, and you can save it to. This is called Kits AI, and you can save that programming or the artificial intelligence to be able to bring up their voice at any time that you want to, which is just absolutely blew my mind. So I'm just going to show you what this looks like on the website here. So just bear with me. So let's share the screen again. You've noticed I've got two Zooms running to make it a little bit easier. Studio 165 is the name of the screen there. Blah, blah, blah. Here it is here. Okay, so as I said, this is, you can find it at app.kits.ai. Don't ask me why it's called Kits, that's just the way it is. And so basically what you can do, let me just go back a step here, is you can convert any audio that you've recorded to any one of these AI generated voices. So if we actually press convert here, first we need to select a voice. This is where we were before. So bear in mind, these are all computer generated AI voices. So even if we just click on female traditional pop here. Okay, so let me go back. How come it didn't allow me to play it? Let me go back here. Characters, 32. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, here's the play button here. How come they're not on there? Maybe because it's the free version. So anyway, let's go male strained rock.
Trying to lose those awkward teenage blues, working on her 9 moves. Ooh.
Okay, so here's a male reggae pop.
I just wanna know that you're mine, cause I wanna be with you for life, yeah. You should be the one to hold mics, cause I'm steady feeling your vibe. I just wanna know that you...
All right, so you can go through and look, there's like so many. They add, a couple every week. Gee, I wonder who this guy's trying to be, do you think? Any questions? Let's have a listen what he sounds like.
So I got into the open steady, coming home, drove my car upon your open day.
Yep, sounds like him. The red-headed man. So you can choose any of these. So obviously you would select a voice here.
Right.
Let me go back. And so what I did was I tried out this male pop punk one first, and that's what I did before. So I won't go through the process. All you do is pick the character that you want.
Yep.
Then you drag your audio into here. So you drag and drop your file in. Then you can go down to the advanced settings and set up anything that maybe you might need, like the conversion strength, model volume, things like that.
So are we talking a vocal track?
Yes.
Ah, right.
So I'm just about to show you now.
Right, sorry. Jumped the gun.
No, you're right. So, you drag the singing part that you've done, and I'll explain what we did in a sec. So you drag that in, make the settings, and then you just press convert. It literally took about 40 seconds, I think. We had a 4.5-minute vocal take that we did with her. She did the voice, by the way. And then you can just simply download it and then drag it into the session.
Yes.
Right. So this file here is the one I exported from Studio One. And what we did a little bit of a trick, because one thing through my research I heard that if you're going to try and do this gender changing, I'm calling it, if you're going to have like we have here, a female singing a lower male's part, she obviously has to do it in the lowest voice that she can, almost like pretending she is a male.
Yeah.
But what happened, we're in the key of G, and by the time she went down an octave, it was too low for her, so she couldn't get any of the lower bottom notes. Right. So what we had to do is we had to tune the whole track up into a different key that was comfortable for her. It ended up being four semitones up.
Yeah.
I had her record the vocal parts, which is this vocal male part here. And then what we did is tuned the track back down again and also went up on this male vocal part so that it actually sounds like it's kind of in right on the range.
Very scary.
That is so scary. So my mind automatically goes, right, I know what I'm going to do now is I've got you can actually sign up for the free version of it. But what it does is it gives you 15 minutes only a month to convert stuff.
Jeez.
The other thing you can do with it is you can actually, just nuts, type in text and it will convert it into the speech of the character that you choose as well. And so the free version gives you 300 characters to be able to do that every month. So my mind automatically goes, I'm sorry, but I'm not. If the budget doesn't stretch enough, I can have all my background vocals now with this AI. I don't have to hire other singers or anything like that. I can just get these guys to sing it, just export it off, and boom, away we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, to me is quite bloody scary.
That's very scary.
Because there's now AI generation music generators that you can actually put a melody into and lyrics, and then it will turn that into the voice that you choose as well. So, you know, there's going to be people obviously manipulating this system, which is, you know, creating pretend bands and things like that. You know, it's a great way of being able to do demos, though. Like, instead of having to hire someone to come and sing with her, you know, now it just, the whole track just sounds like there's a female part and a male part. There's that pop punk voice and her voice together. So she's singing with herself, and we talked about the AI in third person, and we called him Bob. So, so yeah, she was singing with Bob.
Oh my God.
So isn't that absolutely amazing?
Oh my goodness.
And I was blown away with how it turned out.
So, Reese, it means now you can have Beyonce singing Johnny Cash for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, for what you want to be able to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But go and try it for yourself. It's app, APP, dot kits dot AI.
Yeah, I've got it written down.
Yeah.
Double AP. Sorry.
Geez, Pretty Ronnie isn't here, mate. He'd be having a field day with this.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, he doesn't purport to be a great singer. Mate, he'll have Elvis belting through the speakers any minute.
Yeah. You do have to have a fairly level of pitch to be able to pull it off too.
No, we got Melodyne, mate.
Oh, yeah, you can too. You sneaky.
Anyone can sing. It's no problem with Melodyne.
But, you know, for me too, now I've written quite a few songs that I think would be great for a female. And so now I can just sort of, like you say, sing it in as best I can, have Melodyne pitch it a little bit better for me, drag it into this thing, and then just choose any one of those voices. So
because when you go to get your Grammy, they said it really doesn't sound like you, Andrew.
Right?
No, it's when you're on a.
Yeah, that's right. Look, female R&B, you can definitely tell who that's meant to be. So, you know, let's have a listen to. Oh, you can't play that one.
No, it's
Male Slavic, you can definitely hear what that'd be like.
Yeah.
Dance hall, male Afro pop. Oh, female bedroom pop. Let me see if this is what I think it's going to be.
I could live forever with nothing on my mind, dancing in the rain.
Yep, that's what I thought it was. Lo-fi, male gritty pop, female singer-songwriter, male rock. This one was weird. I think we were going to have a listen to this one, but okay, it won't let me do that one. Oh. Female jazz.
He filled my days with endless wonder.
Wow.
That's almost musical theatre, isn't it?
Almost, yeah. Male pop rock. He was a bit weird.
So can you actually put somebody's voice into it?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can train it to do that. So there's a thing called train here.
Okay.
So train a voice.
Wow.
So that's why sometimes you see on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, there's a few things they've got like Freddie Mercury sings Robert Plant, or you know, Pink singing a Billy Idol song or something like that. That's why they go and do it with this train a voice thing. So it goes through the steps of it learning your character of your voice, which is great because it means that if you, let's say you're working with somebody and they're, from a distance and they live quite a while away, to quickly get demos done if you've got their voice ready to go, you can just sing the parts in and at least know what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
That's just, it blew my mind too, Peter, especially when I played it back. It was the very first time I'd done it. I wish I could play you the track because it came out really, really well for a demo. But yeah, I was floored. I just thought, no way. We just looked at each other and we laughed our heads off.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to hear, let's hear Peter singing some
Opera.
some opera. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I can do Eve of Destruction in falsetto.
Yeah.
I like that.
Why not? Why not, I say?
My God.
Yeah, like, I mean, if this is the way things are going to go, AI generation, like we were talking drums before, even in GarageBand's bigger brother Logic, it's got a virtual drummer in there. You just tell it how to play and what you'd like, and it'll generate stuff for you straight away. It might not be, as flexible as a real drummer would be in the studio with you. You can tell him to change this or, do that. But, AI is, I don't kind of go, I try not to think, well, shit, people are going to just cheat now and just release demos of songs and not replace the voice for the real thing. Like, so now we know this is available, how many people that you listen to on Spotify, new artists and stuff, how do you know that it's not an AI generated voice?
You don't, effectively.
With ChatGPT, it can actually tell if something's been edited or copied over from there into certain things.
Yeah.
But, maybe there's, I don't know, a bit like a watermark, there might be some kind of telltale thing in the actual file to say, hey, this was generated by Kit's AI.
Yeah, probably some metadata in there. That
Yeah.
There'd be something, yeah.
Probably like a DRM or something in other stuff. But I mean, as I say, I try not to think of it this way, but I always think of AI as helping us. For us to be able to do a demo and say, oh, gee, I'd rather a female sing this, use this tool to actually go and do that. Job done. Can you imagine in a few years' time this stuff will become real time? So as you're singing, you will sound like somebody else.
Goodness me.
I can see it coming.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yes.
But please, I encourage you to go and try and sing something
properly.
And drag it in there. You get 15 minutes of conversion time for the free one. So actually have a look at the upgrade screen. So you can either pay, $99 a month.
Wow.
And you get 2 custom voices. That's the one that you train. So you get someone in and you train them up. You get 60 minutes a month. You get 10,000 characters if you want to do text to voice conversion. And also, too, take note that the output quality is only MP3. That didn't bother us in our session the other day because it's only a demo. We don't really care about, why would you want it any higher quality than that?
But even at $10 a month, if you're using it enough, you're getting, high quality waves.
Yep.
So if it's seriously working for you, I mean, $10 a month is nothing. So
nah, not if you're using it. Not if you're using it, yeah.
Wow.
But that's just
It's not bad.
like it's pretty cheap, really. There are other ones out there too, and I've tried a few of them and wasn't all that impressed. That's why I was a bit, do we really have to try this? Because I know what they're like. But I was absolutely floored when this one did it.
Yeah.
In such a way that it just absolutely blew my mind.
That's cool.
Anyway, I thought I would share that because it was something very, very interesting.
Goodness me.
So what I'll do, Peter Scott, while you're there, is I know you sent me a question and someone else sent a
it's all right.
question too.
Just general
I think I'll leave them till next time,
That's fine.
just so that there's a couple.
Yeah. That's right. It was just popped into my head, so I thought I'd shoot it across.
Yeah, but I will get to that. So does anyone have any Studio One orientated stuff that they'd like to go through before we cut ties?
No.
I'd like to, I'd like to talk talk a little bit more about the stuff you did with Peter's performance and that sort of stuff that you heard, Andrew. So, what were the main things that that you guys found you really have to have a handle on to make that work for you?
As far as Peter Piddington's
using the song page. Sorry, the what's it called? The
Show page.
show page.
Yeah, the show page. Did you? What was your takeaway from getting that to work properly? Was it the mixes had to be right but a little bit flexible, or was it, what did you take away from the fact to get it working reasonably well?
Me, Peter, you're talking?
Yeah, yeah. Well, either of you could. Well, what did you find, Pete?
I pretty much didn't do anything drastic.
Yeah.
I set up all my tracks in Studio One. I actually basically had them all laid out there.
Yep.
Checked the levels, thought, yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yep.
And then basically just dragged them into the show page from that.
Okay.
And that was really it. I'm not running any effects or anything like that. It was purely
pretty simple. Yeah.
very simple. So down one side of the show page basically comes up and you've got your tracks.
Yep.
Whether you want to loop them, stop them, whatever. So I just hit the go button, play the first track, auto stop, next track, hit the play button and off. And that was pretty much the whole night. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So do you have any, is there any, like I haven't used it in earnest yet. So do you have some sort of reference point to, like, say you might have done a track some time ago and you haven't used it live for a while? Is there some prompts there that will give you, say, what key you've got it in, things like that? Or
No, unless you physically wrote it in yourself. In the title, for example, or something like that.
Oh yeah, okay. So you could prompt yourself, like, yes, yeah. And if you had to transpose it, would that be a problem on the, say you suddenly had a girl vocalist pop up and say, "Oh, have you got this song?" And you've got, "Oh yeah, I have. It's in this key." If you had to transpose it, would that be a thing, or would that?
I don't think you can do it in show page.
No, not that quickly. Yeah. No, that's fine. But you could go back to Studio One, I guess, and just do the quick. If you really needed it, you could go back in, transpose it to whatever key you want, and then out again into the show page.
Yeah, obviously the problem would be, like, if it's in show page, I'm running it's just a stereo wave file.
Oh, I'm with
so if you're going to transpose it there, you're in all sorts of trouble with drums and gosh knows what. So you'd have to go back into the separate stand.
Multi-track and then you do it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. No, that's good. I just sort of, people sort of ask me stuff and I'm not using it, so I'm trying to sort of get a bit of a beat on, what you're finding with it, because I reckon it's a great idea.
I was saying to Andrew on the night, because I hadn't used it before, I'm a bit, hopefully nothing's going to go wrong and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I do have a tablet, and on the tablet, I've got a program called Setlist Maker, and that has my words and has chord charts and also has MP3. So if something went down on Studio One, I could always go back to that and play the MP3 off there. And I was using that as well on a mic stand just to give me the words and stuff. If I needed them, I could have a quick look across.
Yeah.
So basically, I just used the show page really as a playback device, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess that's largely what it's going to be, isn't it? That's really,
but
you've done
the great thing with it is you've got all your shows set up there. So I had 10 or 12 songs, then I'd have a break. So I just put a marker in there, and that was the break, so I knew where the set was going to finish. but it's easy to skip songs and whatever. Now, if say I'm doing it next week and I say, well, that's third song I did in set 2. Gee, that'd be really good in set 1. I can just drag it up into it and it's there. It's so simple to do that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, that makes it very usable. And that will happen at the gig, isn't it? You suddenly think, oh, different crowd. Yeah. No, need to move it around a bit.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I guess, look, the other thing is a lot of people doing that sort of thing with tracks are using tablets or phones and whatever.
Sure.
And they're using compressed MP3s. So at least they had the advantage. I've done all multi-tracks and they're all in WAV format, basically.
Yeah.
And there is a difference in sound quality.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I do a lot of dance-based stuff. Like we work with the Cancer Council down here, and we do the stars of various towns around the area. And all the dance teachers want to give me MP3s, and I said, "How about you go and give me a WAV file?" Or how do I get that?
Yeah.
Well, buy the CD. That would be a good idea. Support the artist, and give me the things, the WAV file straight off the CD.
Yeah.
Oh, but why? I said, because they sound better.
Yeah, exactly.
I did a demonstration one night, and I said, well, okay, here's your song as an MP3, played the first, I don't know, half a minute. I said, now here's your song as a WAV file. And they go, oh my God. I said, yeah, this is the difference. This is, and then you explain to them that, say a CD audio track is 30 something, megabytes, and then you play the MP3, which is about 3 megabytes. I said, well, where's it going to get the rest of that information that's disappeared? They can't get it anywhere.
Yeah, just top and tails it.
Yeah, no. It's just,
And I really don't know if the average punter out there knows the difference anyway, or does hear it, but I guess as a performer and using gear regularly, you sort of do pick the difference straight away, and much more dynamic range and stuff like that.
yeah.
But does the average punter out there know? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But there is a big difference if you go from, using MP3 kind of quality audio all night, and then all of a sudden someone's got a WAV file, at 48 kilohertz or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to really tell much of a difference. But the other way round, you definitely can tell a difference. If someone plays an MP3, then all of a sudden you're like, why does the PA sound so bad? What happened? That's because of all the noise that's happening with an MP3.
Oh, I've got to tell you, Andrew, the funny thing on the night.
Oh, no.
So I've got my little Yamaha mixer, okay?
Yeah.
So I've got it set, so it's all good. I go, yeah, levels are going to be pretty okay, and this is how I had it at home. So I plugged the thing up, and I've gone into the master volume, and mate, it was virtually nothing showing. Like it was a 1 on the master.
Oh no!
And the thing was so loud, I had to get up and turn the speakers right back. So the eons I was using, I had them running just under a quarter volume level.
Oh my God! Oh
yeah, otherwise I couldn't get anything out of the master. It was crazy.
Oh no! That's the one thing, and Peter Scott knows as well. With PA stuff, something goes wrong.
Yep.
Something goes wrong every time, whether it's the smallest little minor thing or a big thing. It's just something that we've got to deal with. I always go to gigs now thinking, right, what's going to go wrong tonight?
Oh, yeah. You go, okay, I've got to do this, so I'll allow an extra half an hour over what I think I'm going to need, just in case, always, yeah.
No, but that's so funny, especially after I left. I thought, oh yeah, Peter's got it all under control there, no problem, no problem.
Oh no, it was. It was. This is before we started. This is sound check, and I go,
oh, okay,
hang on,
yeah.
I need a lot more on my master levels, So,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Carolyn, you've got a question for me.
Excuse me. Yeah. I sent it to you. I don't know if you got my email with the MP3 that you asked for. You might have to have a look for that, but it was in that email. We recently did an AI mastering on our song, and it came back in 40 seconds, and it was free, and it was brilliant. So I really like it.
Excellent.
I have to say, but there's no embedding. So my question was, like, I think what I can do is load it into Studio One, and I could use Studio One to embed, but I don't have that. I only have Studio One Artist. So
what do you define what you mean by embedding? Embedding
well,
the
with
metadata to the track?
Yeah, the metadata, like the songwriter, the song name, you know, composer, arranging, copywriting.
Yeah, you can definitely do that in Studio One.
So is it in Studio One what?
Okay, so I will show you.
No, I mean Studio One, which version? I need to buy it. It's not in Artist.
Don't think it varies what version. I think it's in all versions, isn't it?
I think it is in all versions. I'll have to
Oh,
look that up.
I saw the instructions there.
Pretty sure it's all
But I
versions.
couldn't find it in Artist, what it said to do. You show me what to do.
Yeah.
All right, so remember
Yeah,
I've
if
got
you got a minute.
professional though, and it will work, but
Yeah, but they said it was like in the same part, but there is not that option in Studio One Artist.
Oh, I think there might. Yeah, okay.
yeah, look, that's a good question. But the
Like
way
you do it at the song where you're doing song, whatever it is.
Yep, so the way I do it anyways in song, sorry, if you go to blah blah, just let me remember where it is. Song information under the song
Yeah,
section
yeah, I was there. Yeah, yep.
under info.
Yeah, title, artist, album, year, notes.
Yeah, I can do that, but
Yep.
the meta information that I put in, yeah, it doesn't pop out on the track at all. Like it does when I drop it out on a WAV file. When I drop it on on the MP3,
Yeah.
the names that I put in there come out on the whatever that thing is called. I forget what it's called, starts with a P. Anyway, yeah, it's all there. But when I drop it, using that data does not come out.
Okay, so with metadata, if we have a look, let me get out of this, and I'll go back into so you can just so you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll have a look at what I've got there too. Yeah.
So if I go to any file on my system here, and let's just say this demo that I made just the other day, if I right click or two finger click on this and go get info, you'll notice that I don't really have any metadata show up here at all. Even though it should be by me, name extension, the more info. Oh, here it is here. Look, duration 4.3. It's only showing me duration, author, how many channels it is, sample rate, and the year recorded. So the metadata doesn't show up on all. So you're using Windows, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when I drop the WAV file out, it has got no data on it that you can see. Whereas everything I get mastered comes back with the name of the band and, not too much data. He doesn't go to any great trouble, but the name of the band, the name of the songwriter.
So it all comes up when you do something similar what I just did then.
Well, yeah, on MP3s, it does come out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But not a WAV file, which is what I'm concerned about.
Okay, so what format are you going onto a CD?
No, just a WAV file.
Yeah, but where is the WAV file going to? Is it going to Spotify or is it?
Oh, everything, yeah, just goes to streaming, yeah.
Yeah. Because it depends on what the end user is going to get to. So what I'm trying to say is if that WAV file is uploaded to somewhere like, from my understanding, if it goes up to a place like Spotify, Spotify will actually see that metadata.
Yeah, they will log it normally.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's no metadata for me to see.
No, that's what I'm saying is it might not show up on your system because it's not an MP3.
It's in the background, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but on the WAV file, it's always shown up. When I get it mastered, he adds it in.
Right, so he must be doing something else on his end then to change it.
Well, I think it's what you're doing. Your screen's a bit big for me to pull up mine at the moment, but if you could minimize that, I'll have a quick squiz. Or
Yep,
else
so
I'll send it to you later. Okay.
No,
well,
have a look,
there.
have a quick look. You should be able to share your screen.
Yeah, I think I can somehow, but I probably better get that down there. Share. Where's share?
So it's on your, I think, sort of left-hand side of the Zoom screen, and it's in green. It says share screen.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay. So there.
And then you choose your desktop. Oh, yeah, here we go.
So
Okay.
I've got to get one that's been released. There. No, where is it? Jeez. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, there. That's because of the cloud.
Yes.
Took my songs. Okay. So if I go here to song.
Yep. Song information.
Yep. So I get song notes, right?
Yep.
Track notes. Song notes, nothing. Info. Well, get out of there.
No, stay there. Go to
Yeah.
info.
Yeah.
Now, over here, double click.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
put that in, right?
Yep.
That's there.
Yep.
So I
The
didn't
title's
put
not
the
there.
song. Yeah, but yeah.
Sir Bruce. Oh, that not that kind of title.
Oh. No, Mr. Scott.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's Sir Bruce.
He'd like that, wouldn't he? I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Bruce gets everything. Look at the
Well,
royalties he's going to have coming
I
back.
get some. Yeah, no. Well, he's been paid about $25 a year from Spotify.
Wow.
25 no, euros. Sorry, euro. So
Look out.
copyright is it 2024, Bruce? Copyright of My Sister and Me, was it 2024? Yeah, it was. Okay. So
hit apply.
yep, apply.
Yep.
Now, is there anything else I should hit?
No,
Option?
so just get rid of that window.
Close the window.
Okay. Yep. So if I drop that song down now. Oh, where is it there? I better do save.
Yep. Save.
And then song. Export. I'll export. It's got to be a WAV. Right.
Yep.
There, that'll do.
Give it a name.
I'll call it Mix Down
Okay.
for
Just
now.
for the sake of it.
Yeah. I never call them mix downs.
No, and never call them final either, because otherwise you end up with the final demo, final.
You do.
So there it is. See, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Title, contributing artist album, nothing.
But what if you double click on that then? Is it still the stuff you put
Well,
in?
no.
the double click on that window. That really doesn't say about the file itself.
What do you mean double click? Like,
So that window that's open there now, double click back on the song information window.
where's that? Back here.
Right on that on the picture or somewhere.
Where it says My Sister and Me.
Properties.
No.
No, why is it called the Immaculate Crows now?
That's the. Where is it?
Right in front of you.
Mine.
In the middle.
It doesn't say the Immaculate Crows, does it?
Yep.
It says Mix Down.
The artist, yeah.
Where?
On the song information page what you're looking at.
Right where your arrow is. Your arrow mouse
Where?
pointer is on
I
it.
can't see anything there other than the word Mix Down.
Oh, it's gone in behind Studio One, probably.
Oh, right. Have you got two screens?
Hmm.
Have you?
No, it probably popped up behind Studio One. You might have to minimize Studio One for a minute.
Oh, yeah. So what we're seeing is you're sharing Studio One window only.
Yeah.
What
And
you
it
need to
just,
go is go and share your desktop.
oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
press
Oh,
stop,
so share
press stop
desktop.
share
Oh, well,
in Zoom.
wait a minute.
Yep.
Yep. No. Zoom. Oh, yeah. So stop video. No. No.
No, it's stop share.
Yeah, I haven't got that anymore.
Oh. We're stuck. We're in limbo.
Where is it?
I wish I could control you. I think I can.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you
Stop
can.
video. Da 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 da.
Request remote control.
So, yeah, sure. Is it that simple, Andrew?
You want to look at the actual WAV file itself where you saved it to.
Yeah, well, okay, that's it. That's where it's saved. So that
Hey, I
one,
haven't. Wow,
you
you
can't
are
see it.
controlling Carolyn's screen. Well, I'm not.
It's in this one.
Yeah, no, we're only seeing Studio One itself, the song page.
Oh, stop share. You want me to stop share? I see that one.
Yeah, so stop share.
Yeah, and then share. Then share screen again.
Yep, and then choose desktop.
Desktop. Desktop. Yeah, great. No, there is no such thing. Advanced. Apps. No. Basic. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it should just
Select
be
the
under
window I want to
basic
share.
desktop 1.
Camera, Zoom, Nord, songs. That one?
Can't see it, so we don't know.
Yeah, that's hard because it won't. I couldn't control it before.
So can you see that?
Nope.
No. Okay.
You need to share it.
I'll share. Okay. Can you see that now?
Ah, yes.
Yay!
Okay, so that's where it is.
Yep. So open it up for me.
It's in Mixdown.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Just did.
There it is.
Okay. So title and contributing artist and album hasn't come up.
No.
Just right click on that for me.
Yep. Properties.
Yep.
It's not there.
Where'd properties go?
No.
And I can't add it.
That is so strange.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's different for the Studio One. If I share that, which you maybe can see it now, I don't know, probably not. It's different to what you had there in the things that I can do in the song. So the song information is only that basic one with the picture of the screen there, with the picture of the album cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing else like song notes and track notes, whereas yours had something extra added in there. I can't remember what the field was, but it's not just that one.
Yeah. So what I'm doing
So-
now is I'm just having a quick look in Studio One if there's an actual preference that says on export.
All right, okay.
You know, on export include metadata, something like that.
All right.
But it's definitely something that
I'll fiddle around with and
yeah, because that that is strange because it might be an artist thing where it doesn't do it.
I feel it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Artist doesn't do a lot of stuff. Because you do yours on the on that what's it called, that screen with the all the project screen, isn't it? I don't have a project page.
Yeah, that depends on oh yeah, that's right, because artist doesn't have the show page and stuff like
Show
that.
page, yeah. Or project page.
But I mean, even artists, that's a fairly fully fledged program, so you would think that they would include that. But that's something that I might need to look up, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, let's,
Well, if you
let's
can
do some research.
Yeah, thanks
Yep.
for that. Thank you very much.
Andrew,
I can't. Yeah.
sorry, did you go into song meta information and it's got title, artist, and arranger and all that stuff there? Is that what you were at?
Yeah. So you can go to preferences.
Okay.
Okay,
That, I'm just looking at the meta information. That's basically the same as on the project page, I think, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be able to access it either way then. Okay.
Well, see, what happens is when I do drop an MP3, the picture comes up and everything. You know, the album cover comes up and plays if I've got it right and I dropped it with that cover, you know. So it does work properly for MP3s, but I've never been able to do it for WAV files. So
yeah, Peter, the it's under song setup meta information.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah.
So I'm just typing willy-nilly stuff in here just to see if it's gonna. I'm gonna do the same thing and just see what happens with professional. And it was a WAV file that you exported it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's down meta. Well, let's just go 48. Oops, wrong one. 2448. Okay, I'm just going to put it on the desktop so I know where the heck it went to. And go now. I'm just looking. There's no actual place where it says include metadata. Nothing like that. We've got to write tempo to audio file. Bypass master effects, close after export, and then loudness. Okay, so while it's exporting there, that is a really cool question. Like, I'd never thought of that before because I've mastered quite a few CDs over the time, and no one's ever complained that my metadata was missing.
Oh no,
that's pretty strange.
Yeah.
Open with get info. All right, so it looks like it's come up with everything.
Okay.
Song information.
Right. So it does all come out when you put it in.
Yeah.
In that, but you put it in a spot not called info.
Well, I just double click on the information. It sends you to the song setup page. So then you've got general information there, meta information, change the picture and do all that kind of stuff. And
good if we can see what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm just mucking around here.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm going to write that down because that's something very interesting. Yes. Thanks for throwing that curveball in there, Carolyn. It's something that I was hoping these kind of meetings could help with, but sometimes I've just got to go away and
do the
go
on. Bye.
Wow.
Was it something we said?
Or something I didn't say?
Don't know.
Because it's interesting too, because if I play this WAV file in, say, Apple Music, oh, it plays songs. What do I call it? Mixed down meta. Right. So when I open it up in Apple Music, it still doesn't give me the album genre or whatever.
Mm.
And I'm using Professional, so I wonder what's going on there. I have a feeling, Peter, that I think I might having to message Gregor about this one.
Yeah,
Like, dude, what's going on?
I try to remember back. I was involved with recording some albums for some guys, some bluegrass guys years ago, and we yeah, I had a feeling that we didn't have we had all the songs, we had them all mastered and what have you, but I have a feeling we had to send the information to the company that were going to produce the CDs, and they would put that in. And it had something to do with they had to access the album and log it in a database, in an internet database.
Right.
I can't remember. It's a long time ago. We're talking a million years ago. But I know once that was done onto the CD, then the CD had all the information there available to you. But yeah, I know there was something about there is a global music database that we used to have to use. Otherwise, no one would know what anything was. The trouble
Yeah.
was, well, sometimes, like when you'd import an album into, say, iTunes, it would go to the database and say, "Is this songs to slit your arms with, or by Slipknot, or is it jazz standards by Betty Boo?"
Yeah.
And you go, because maybe they had the same title, but it couldn't differentiate between them. It was weird. It didn't always happen, but just sometimes you get this. What album is this? Or there've been a couple of releases of an album, and it had like an early greatest hits, and then there was a later version which had more tracks. But it doesn't seem to pop up so much now, so I don't know who's logging all that information.
Yeah. But it should, if you're putting the metadata in there, unless it assumes
Well,
that,
you think so? Yeah.
there shouldn't be a difference between MP3 and WAV. I'm going to write that down too.
Yeah.
Carolyn's admitting back in again here. So maybe it was a mistake. She
might hit the wrong button.
She hit the wrong
It's
button.
easy to do. Yeah, very odd. Very odd. No, it'd be a good thing to get to the bottom of, actually, because it's important stuff.
Yeah, I'm just searching through now the manual to find metadata, but I can't even find that.
Oh.
Maybe it might be a grey area, as they say.
Secret Studio One business.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that might do us. I'll just ask Carolyn to unmute there and see if she can come back before we leave.
Unmute. Thank you. I don't know where all the rest has gone, but thank you.
thought
I logged in again and I'll follow it up.
We thought it might have been something we said, Carolyn.
Yeah, I think the computer had enough.
Oh, right. Well, we thought you'd had enough and gone, well, they can't answer my question. I'm out of here.
No, but I'll let you all gentlemen go to bed or dinner or whatever you're doing now. Thank you for your help.
No worries. We're all going to get going now. And, I'll decide later on whether I'll put this meeting up on YouTube. I might just do a quick bit of editing.
Oh, I hope so.
just put up the first bits. And Zachary messaged me today and said he couldn't make it. He's actually doing some kind of
trade thing, isn't he?
Yeah, workshop thing with BSG, Brisbane Sound Group.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there. I should have rang my good friend John up and see what he's doing. But anyway, apparently they've got a van going around doing different things on live sound and things like that. They've kind of gone away from the recording side of things and more live kind of situations. So
Sure.
be interesting to hear from him, see what's going on there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that metadata thing, very, very interesting.
And thanks very much for the lesson in the easy drums. That was brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I just thought that it's something that is a little bit missed out there because Easy Drummer and stuff can be so easy to drag stuff in and just forget about it. But if you just want to go that little extra mile, put a different snare, put a different reverb on the snare and things like that, having it separated out that way is great.
Yeah. Really good.
All right. Thank you, Peters. Thank you,
you,
Reese.
Andrew.
Good to see you again.
Bye.
Good night.
Peter Scott, we'll talk soon.
See you, Scotty.
Wave goodbye to Studio One. See you, Studio One 6.5. See you later.
Bye.
Doesn't speak
I'm
a lot,
waving.
but
Bye.
Oh, the drums are still there. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.